Hey, I'm Eugene and I build and rank websites. So we're back for video number 2. We ended up looking at home builders and solar installers. This is the second video. In the first video, we just looked at how many times each month somebody types in home builder Melbourne, solar installer Melbourne, and then we collected probably 5-6 websites of each. These are the websites that rank at the top of Google. We're going to attempt to find out why Google is choosing them over other websites. I guess we want to see what the best websites that are at the top that are getting the most traffic, what they're actually made out of in terms of SEO elements. So elements that Google obviously likes since it's choosing them over other websites. I also touched on other strategies like Google ads and Facebook ads, which one is best in each niche. And the reason I chose solar is one where you can have great success with Facebook ads, whereas home builders is more of a Google ads space. Not to say that solar isn't. So we're talking about SEO, which is putting the websites at the top of Google, putting the websites at the top of Google Maps. So if you type in, builder Melbourne, you come up. Then we're discussing Google ads and paying Google for a click. So we're at the top straight away, and then potentially Facebook ads. And so in this video, I'm actually going to split this video into 2. I'm going to look at the top builders that we looked at. So we got Porter Davis and Metricon. They were the big boys. I might actually only do one of them because I imagine we're going to see more or less the same thing. I might look at Metricon because that was the bigger out of the 2, and then we're going to dive into some more local, smaller business websites because that's sort of down to earth stuff. But first, I sort of want to just quickly cover how Google judges websites. I've got a page on our website called Google Ranking Factors. I'm not going to dive into it too deep, but essentially Google looks for these things. Google notices when there are direct website visits. Google notices when the people hang around on your website. So the longer someone stays on your website, the better it is. How many other pages do they click on your website? Do they click around the menu? Do they visit the blog? Do they read the blog? Do they look at the services, the reviews? Do they sit there watching the videos, for example? So these are all things that you can actually control and put on the website to make people stay there for longer. Bounce rate is a big one. How quickly does someone jump off your website? So if your website is too slow, I know I'm impatient. If it takes too long to load, I'll back out. That's bounce rate. So in other words, someone has clicked on something, they've either seen something they don't like, not suitable, they bounce out. Google notices that, and that means you potentially will lose rankings for that keyword, or if your whole website is slow, then you just won't rank. These next 4, one word, backlinks. How many other websites on the internet mention you? If you're a builder and another website about building or trades is mentioning you on their website, that's great. That means that the more of those mentions that you have from other websites, the higher you will rank. I'm not going to dive any further. I will be judging the websites based on simple things. I've actually got a bit of a guide here. I call it the SEO on-page checklist. I've got a video here to explain it. So essentially, when Google visits every website, every page, every blog, they're looking for a number of things just to understand what this website is about. So here's an example of a skeleton page that I built. It's looking for the main title, the H1, to understand what this page is about. That generally should be your keywords. So I'd be making this home builder Melbourne or solar installer Melbourne. Then it's looking for the next text. Does this text explain the title? You got some ticks. So add supporting content, add supporting keywords to prove to Google, hey, this website's genuinely about this title. If this title is gaming mouse and this text is about solar installation, well, it's just going to be a mixed bag of results. Then you have a secondary title. That's called a H2. You should only have one H1 on any page. On one page, and you can have as many H2s as you want. I generally aim for like 5 or 6, then some text, then supporting services. And so here's the checklist. Is your keyword in the URL? And the address itself, is the keyword in the H1? Is it in the H2, H3? Have you got your meta description filled out? So, once again, I'm not judging websites. That's sort of what I look at when in this video, we're not actually deconstructing and giving advice to lower ranking websites. We're going to have a look at why the good websites are ranking at the top. So we'll start with, we'll go Metricon. The problem I have with looking at these websites is that sometimes they're just so big that they're just an outlier, and they're just that massive that they can afford to make pretty solid mistakes. So for example, if I have a look at the title here, sometimes these websites, there we go, H1 is definitely there. Australia's leading home builder. There's the term, home builder. It's exactly what I just said. The keyword is naturally in the title. I'm just going to zoom in quickly because you might not see. So remember this website here? This is a skeleton. Google visits this website. The H1 has to have the keyword. That's exactly what's going on here. So somewhere on this page, they've got, here we go, Australia's leading home builder. So this H1 is all the way down the bottom of the page, but it's still the H1. So that's like the hierarchy of titles. I've actually got an example here of why titles are so important. So here's a good image. So the H1 is at the top, H2 and H3 titles, and so forth. So what I'm going to look at is I'm just going to see how many pages they have. 4,000 pages. Obviously, they've got offices in every city. Big website. Let's jump into like page 8 of their website, town leaving New Haven. So yeah, Jewel Lock, Melbourne. So if we look at this, Metricon /builders /Melbourne and /Jewel Lock. That means they're going to have pages for every city. They're going to have Melbourne Jewel Lock, Brisbane Jewel Lock, Sydney Jewel Lock. Big website. It's going to be very hard to compete with them, but it just goes to show that, hey, even big boys like this are taking their SEO seriously. Well, so they should, because that's how they got here. So what I'm going to do a screaming frog audit. This might look complex, but there's just a couple of things that I sort of pay attention to here in these quick audits. So we're just going to let this crawl. So essentially, we're going to crawl this website as if Google does, and it's just going to come back with a whole bunch of data, a whole bunch of interesting stuff for me to understand, which pages have got the most text, which pages have errors, mistakes, and stuff like that. There's some common stuff that while that's happening, let's have a look at their. So I'm going to use Ahrefs for this because it's in terms of SEO deconstruction of a website. This gives me better data personally. So the traffic data is a bit different to SEMrush. I think SEMrush, if you remember, the same website, they said that it gets like 200 or 300,000 visitors a month. Let's have a look quickly. There we go, 226,000 visitors a month. That's what the estimated traffic here is. Ahrefs says 1,040. That's so conservative. I know that that's definitely under. Just the way they do things, the way they calculate, it's just based on the software. So, but still, nevertheless, 141,000 visitors a month. They haven't really progressed. Whatever happened here was a crazy SEO project. So this chart down here shows how many organic visitors they're getting from Google. So free visitors from Google based on keywords they're ranking for. So they might be ranking for home builder, which they were, if you remember. They might be ranking for home builder Melbourne, which I think from memory they were like 5th or 6th from the last video. And so this is free traffic from Google. So Google is sending them $110,000 US worth of traffic every single month. So if we remember, every keyword has a cost. Essentially, we can pay for that. So builder Melbourne was like $10 or something, or luxury builder was $5. So based on how powerful their website is, they're receiving $110,000 US worth of traffic each month based on their rankings. That's how good their SEO is. But this tells me that they achieved all the rankings that they want. They either hit a cap, they stopped looking for new keywords they wanted to rank for. I mean, when you're number one, you're number one. There's only a certain amount of people that are typing in certain keywords. Down here, it's showing me, so the orange graph is how many keywords they're getting recognized for. So if you put up a blog about, dual occupancy builds, that blog will mature. That means Google will begin to recognize your, 1,000 words of text that you may have put on with Google with dual occupancy keywords. So this graph will generally go up. So it means back here they did some sort of a crazy acquisition campaign in terms of new blogs, new pages, text. So their website has been recognized for 52,000 different keyword variations. So somewhere from rank 1 to rank 100 on Google, there's 51,000 of their terms. For 52,000 times this website shows up. Okay, I'm probably losing you guys here. I'm sorry. So they have 43,000 backlinks. Remember, a backlink is a mention from another website. Very important stuff. What I like to do, I just like to jump in and just have a quick squeeze at what these look like, because this tells us what we need to build. So for example, Melbourne Victory, the soccer team, I imagine, right, is mentioning them. Great. They must be a sponsor. This is what happens. That is one of the most powerful links that they have. So Melbourne Victory is mentioning them on their homepage via image Metricon Home. So somewhere on this website, there is an image. Maybe they're a sponsor or something, and it's Metricon Homes. I can't find it, but apparently it's here, or it's maybe somewhere on this on this page. Anyway, I won't spend too much time on it. So we're looking at websites that are mentioning them. So Gold Coast Football Club. So they're obviously a sponsor there as well. So, their strategies is sponsoring, and then for this Metricon Stadium, I mean, obviously, of course. There you go. There's a whole stadium here. So it's like there's so much going on with this site that I'd be keeping away from their main keyword. So what are they gunning for? They're gunning for, obviously, Metricon, very well known. So 49,000 times each month does someone type in the word Metricon. So that's looking for their brand. Great brand recognition. Here we go. Home builders, they're ranked number 1. They receive that keyword gets 4,400 hits. Remember, the other software said 6,600. So different numbers, just different software. So don't worry about that too much. They receive that much traffic out of it. So even though they're ranked number 1, they only receive a quarter of the traffic. Just goes to show, even number 1, you don't get all the traffic. So the Google ads are above the organic, if you remember. So if you type in home builders, even though they rank number 1, these guys get a lot of traffic. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ads, and then there's maps. And only then do you get Porter Davis and, they're not number 1 on mine, but on average they were. I saw Metricon Homes there before, if you remember. Home Builder maybe, different variation. Home Builder, Porter Davis, Metricon down there. Anyway, as you can see, the results change based on my search conditions. On average, they do. So what's happening here? This crawler is still going hard. So it's crawling the website. We're looking at, we've assessed 1,400 individual pages. I can see which pages have more words, which pages have, for example, this terms and condition has 7,000 words. Resources and FAQs, this page has 6,000 words. So they take look at this. This FAQ's got a lot of text. On this page, there's a lot of text. So they take their supporting content really, really serious. One of the biggest things, one of the most important things in SEO, in building a website, is if you want Google to choose your website over another, one sec, you need to prove to Google that you are trustworthy in that space. So you need to have text and obviously links and mentions from other websites, but you start off, I was just explaining this in a different video, you essentially have to have, if you want to rank for, we're back to audio systems, if you and I are building a website about audio systems and we've registered a domain and we've said, hey Google, rank me at the top, Google's like, no, I don't trust you. That you go through this trust phase. It's called the sandbox. Google is, you're guilty until you're proven innocent. And say, okay, Mr. Google, these are the sort of things that we want to have on our website. We want to have headphones, home speakers, VR headsets. So they're now different categories. Google's still like, no, you've just given me 4 pages. You've given me nothing really. okay, we need to prove to Google that we know our stuff about headphones, that we know our stuff about home builders. So what we saw on this website is frequently asked questions about display homes and, brands, offers, inspiration, video gallery, image gallery, blog. So there's going to be, here we go. This is the blog. So you're going to have color ideas. You're going to have lots of pages. So if we go back to that example, okay, we want to prove ourselves to Google for headphones. We want to rank for headphones. We will have a blog about best wireless Bluetooth headsets, lightest wireless, whatever, right? The best batteries for headphones, old headphones, new headphones. In other words, any excuse to write content that gets searched. What is the lightest headphone? So you need to do your research before you create this content. But then after a while, Google will visit this and says, okay, these guys do know their stuff about headphones. There's some really, really high quality content about headphones. That content is getting traffic. People are spending time on that website. People are reading it. People are browsing. And what happens is over time, Google will compare you to another website that you may have better quality blogs, not necessarily more, but if you've got 5 blogs and they have 10 blogs, but there's lots of people spending a lot of time on yours, you're going to have more trust eventually, and you're going to overtake. I mean, obviously you want to have more blogs as well. And maybe if their blogs are, let's have a look how big these like, for example, if I click this, how long is this? This looks like it's at least 1,000 words, internally linked. Great. This page is 2,200 words. Good to see, but I imagine it's picking a lot of words from the sidebar, the footer, so there's probably about 1,000 words of genuine blog here. This is probably an introduction to choosing the right flooring. Here we go. So the keyword here, how to choose a floor for your home, choosing the right floor materials. So that the reason this blog exists is potentially to rank for, what floor do I choose, or what materials do I want for my floor. So every blog has to have a reason for being up on your site. So if I go back to this example, you've built these blogs. Well, what next? Well, from there you need to build links and mentions to those blogs, not just your homepage, not just your main services page. Your blogs need to get linked to. In other words, telling Google, some really, really good quality went up, and now other websites are mentioning that quality. The other websites are happily, sending traffic there. That's really good. That means there's a good experience on this website. Up you go. And this takes time, months, years in some cases. It's a natural flow of giving a good experience on the internet. Now, this is still going. What we can probably do, we can probably find home truths. So that looks like it's some sort of a content idea. Home truths, November. 7 things to consider when designing a new office. Look at this. These are all blogs. If we have a look at it, so it's called a site. If we have a look at the visualization, I can't speak. Whoa! So this is another way to look at websites. Is these are different content clusters. Remember, I was just showing you just before this. There's a a cluster about headphones, cluster about home speakers, cluster about same thing. What's going on here? That looks like a cluster of city pages, regional Victoria builders. So topics about builders. If we zoom in. Calculators. So calculators for some sort of, choosing your floor, for example, or construction of a house, or how much mortgage will be, repayments and stuff like that, awards. This is really, really cool. So the architecture of this website, this is the cluster that I was talking about. And then you have there's the FAQs that I was just at before. Big site. So look at that site as an example. High quality content, high quality pages, covering lots of topics. That's a high authority website. I spent so much time on it. Let's move over to the next one. So local ranking. I remember this one. This one ranked just locally on maps. Let's have a look at this one very quickly. Text is a bit, Okay, I've got a 4K monitor, so it's going to look a bit small for me. All right, so let's have a look. They weren't getting that much from memory. But from my suburb, they were at the top of maps, so they are getting some sort of traffic. 17 visitors per month from Google. I imagine most of those will come from that keyword. Now down here, that keyword won't be there because, so their brand gets about 30 visitors. So that means they've been around for a couple of years. They've got a bit of a reputation, good or bad. Not much is going on. So their traffic is dipping. They had 70 visitors a month. They looks like their page is getting de-indexed, or they deleted a whole bunch of content. So having said that, they were at the top of Google Maps. So it's like, it's good to see. Internally linked. So it's like we can do this. We can beat this. What is this? This is built with WordPress, of course. How many pages? This is so good to see. It's like a not so big website without any big SEO elements. In fact, I think they're making mistakes. Nah, they got the H1, Melbourne's premier custom home builder. So they're actually gunning for custom home builder. What if we type in custom home builder now? No, but they were. If I type in home builder, I remember they were at the top. I forgot what combination I typed in to find it. Okay, so look, nothing really to look up to here other than the fact that, let's have a look at their blogs really quickly. This is so when you do projects like this, it's like this is not helping SEO wise. It's just, yes, it's creating fresh content on your website. It's not a big thing anymore. This is too thin. Not, if you're going to do this, make sure there's more text. But it doesn't serve a purpose. It doesn't aim for any keywords. Whereas meet co-founder, design trends. So no one really types in. I mean, they type in design trends, but you're never going to rank for those keywords. Tips for renovating your period. Yep. Okay. Yep. So there was an attempt at blogs. That's actually not bad at all. That is not bad. They're missing a meta description. So I'm not going to sort of make. I'm just going to quickly have a look. Missing meta description, 22 pages already missing meta description, 27, 30 pages missing, meta keywords missing H1. So they're the mistakes. If they fix this, Google has shown a sign that it likes their website. So there is potential there. All right, let's go boutique homes. I feel like this is just another one. Actually, I'm going to go to Hale Corp. Boutique homes was a big one as well. Hale Corp. Oh, if we go to Hanson Living, they had 145 backlinks. So let's have a look at this one real quick. This is that other website that's only getting 70 visitors. Let's have a look who's linking to them. dlook.com.au. Looks like a directory. Okay, we can do this as well. High Pages, another directory. 17 inviting traditional entry designs. Okay, architecturedesigns.com. Check out this website. This is a private website. This is designed for SEO purposes, for links. We can do these as well, no problem. So we get an understanding of what's powering up this page in terms of mentions from websites. So that's probably linking to them. That's somewhere here. Okay, what else? So far, these links we could build as well ourselves. dlook is that one again. Social Style Mag. Another one of those websites. Can you see the pattern? This website possibly at some stage was a genuine website. It was somebody's business. They forgot to renew it. An SEO like me picked it up, built it out. It's probably getting organic traffic, but its purpose is for link building, right? So social, like what is this about? 3 bad habits that are making you age faster. It's a bit all over the place, isn't it? So it's like, this is not so relevant to, I mean, it is obviously trends, somewhat fashion. So is this a good quality link? I mean, it's a link. So now we're now digging under the foundations of the website and understanding what it's made out of. So all of these links we could easily either buy. The directories you can definitely buy. You can make some of these websites yourself. Let's have a look. Domains, Australian Women Online, very news anyway. Let's have a look at another directory. We looked at this. Another one of those sites. I even know this theme. This is Genesis. This is a WordPress theme. It's called Genesis. So this is telling us that there's another one of those websites. Look at this. They're called PBN, Private Blog Network. It's when you're, let's see, luxury home builder. That's linking to them. That's linking to somebody else. Finder. So it's when you run a website for the sake of mentioning other websites. It's just another strategy. Who knows? This could be a genuine website that's getting genuine traffic. Let's have a look how much what it's seeing on. That's pretty much all the links. If I keep going, I'm just going to keep finding more of them like that. Here's another directory. Oh, that's the site. Okay. Oh, wait. Hale Corp. What have I done? What did I look? Hanson Living. Okay. Anyway, let's move over to these guys. These are a much more serious website. They're targeting. I remember these guys. They were targeting local Bayside, Brighton, Elwood, Hampton, Port Melbourne, Sandringham. So what are these pages? Individually, if we click into them, I'm assuming that's a H1. Let's have a look. So we're telling Google, hey, we are Brighton Builders. Yep, Brighton Builders. Title's there. H1 is there. Custom luxury home builders in Brighton. There we go. That's a H2. Perfect. Good stuff. I'd probably have put an image or possibly a video to make people stick here longer, spend more time. Amazing houses. Like, this is incredible. Residential, multi-residential. So in terms of SEO, I think it's just lacking a video. Put a YouTube video that make people hang around. Should have a call to action and should have a contact form. It's like, right, well, I'm looking from home builder. Yes, I can inquire. Generally, you need a contact form. Hey, leave me your details. Let's have a look at how much traffic they're getting. I'll close off these. I don't imagine it's much, but it's good traffic. Great. So look at this. I reckon they started a proper SEO campaign maybe end of 2018. So they had a website. The website matured. You can actually judge when a proper SEO campaign is starting when you look at services, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook. They got Pinterest. So a sitemap. There we go. And there's the blog. Well done, guys. Well built. Looks good. So pages, posts. Let's go to I don't know which one's the first or the second. So, wow, this is not good. 2015. So that means this one here might be the second. Still 2015. Yeah, these pages are too thin. You guys should delete these. These are not serving press, news, master. 6 features you only find in luxury. July. Here we go. They've some sort of a campaign. I knew it started sort of in 2020, end of last year. Let's do a bit of a how big is this site? Well, actually, we're looking at it here. The sitemap. Sorry if I'm bouncing around. So these are their services, and these are their supporting content. So if I was them, I'd put way more supporting content on these sites. But having said that, where did they rank? Did I leave a comment for myself? Smaller local builder. So if Builder Brighton. That's right, because they had that suburb page. They were there. So they're probably not getting that much traffic from this keyword. What about Brighton Builder? But they show up. Brighton Homes. No, that's the Queensland Hale Corp. Yep. So I'm not here to give advice. I'd do way more supporting content. I'd hide these shitty pages. Let's have a look at what Screaming Frog tells us. It's going to do a quick analysis. 15 pages missing meta description. Ugh, not good. 49 pages missing H1. How? I thought you guys were doing a good job. Let's have a look at these pages. So the about page is missing a H1 and missing a meta description? No, it's not. So this is such a good sign. It's like if these pages, yeah, all H4s. So it has no H1, has no H2, does have a meta description. So it's like certain elements are there, but certain elements are not. Very, very basic stuff that they're dropping the ball on. I might just send this. So missing H2s, missing H1. So 62 pages are missing a H1. Great. It's like if that's what I need to beat to get to the first page of Brighton, no problem. So how long it takes? There's a YouTube video out there. If you register a new domain, forget about first page probably for about a year, even of ongoing monthly SEO. If you smash, let's say 100 blogs onto that site, you'll see within month 3, 4, you'll start to pick up traffic on those blogs. Then Google will begin trusting you. On month 6, 7, you should be hovering around page 1 if it's low range keywords. At least page 2 or 3 depends. It just depends on the keywords. That's an ongoing SEO campaign. Obviously, if you want traffic straight away, just turn on a Google ad. Awesome website. It was actually doing worse than I expected in terms of SEO. Good looking aesthetics. I'm not here to judge aesthetics. I'm just here to give us an understanding of what Google's putting at the top. Once again, these guys were at the top of a suburb, not Melbourne. What time is it? 31. I think we're due. So in summary, what did we see? We saw a few sites that get a lot of traffic. Obviously, for that rank for home builder, nationally, home builder Melbourne. We saw the sites Metricon. So what was the takeaway from Metricon? A lot of backlinks, a lot of networking with soccer clubs. Obviously, they sponsor them. They have a stadium. It's hard to compete with them. But you saw how serious they took their blog. There was thousands of pages, maybe not thousands, but about 1,000 blogs, and each blog was designed in a way to answer a certain query. So each blog, if Google visits it, Google will ask, does this serve a purpose to somebody else? Is someone looking for these keywords? Even if it's 50 or 60 times, and if they land on this website, does this website answer that query? The answer is yes. So we've looked at builders. Next video is going to be solar companies, and solar companies is where I suggest Facebook ads is another strategy. So priorities, website, SEO, Google ads, but Facebook ads as well. Builders, Google ads 100%. So SEO, so you need a website, you get the SEO campaign, and Google ads. And you only turn a Facebook ads on, A, if you got money to throw around, but B, retargeting, Facebook retargeting ads. So let's say, for example, this website here, I've typed in Brighton builder. I've found this website. I've clicked on it. I'm on the Brighton builders page, right? The way a retargeting pixel works is the owner of this website now knows, this person spent 30 seconds on this website. He scrolled down, he had a look at these properties. Now when I leave this page, this person can advertise to me on Facebook, and it can literally say, hey, you're still interested in that house construction in Brighton, or it might just be more subtle. Hey, here's a few buildings in Brighton that we've put together, lifestyle and stuff like that. That your brand is more likely for them to come back and inquire. Hope this has been relevant to you. If you need me to look at your website, if you need me to look at your competitors and see what we need to do to your website to overtake the Facebook, Google ads, hit me up. Next video is going to be about solar companies. I will see you soon. Thank you. Nah, I done grew up around some people living their life.